My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Caught Stealing. And I want to begin this review by saying that I am a huge fan of Darren Aronofsky. Okay, I'll admit, I hated The Whale and I hate Pi, but the rest of his filmography is just terrific. Like The Fountain, The Wrestler, Noah, Black Swan, Requiem for a Dream, and especially Mother. This guy is a true talent unlike anybody else. He would be one of my favorite directors ever. So, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, it kind of caught me off guard because it looked less like an Aronofsky movie and more like a Guy Ritchie movie, which, okay, unexpected, but it could still be a fun time. So I went in with an open mind, and it's kind of blah. So yeah, I really need his next movie to be better because this kind of pains me to see him. Between The Whale and now this, he's better than this. But let's begin by talking about the cast. And Austin Butler does a perfectly fine job here. It's probably one of my least favorite performances of his because he just doesn't really have much to do, much to work with, and he still brought enough here. He still carries the movie very well, but it's not a great performance. Zoe Kravitz does a good job. I like how charming and likable she can be, but I also like how she stands up for herself when needed. Matt Smith brought plenty of personality to his character, and he managed to be quite funny at times. Regina King does a perfectly fine job, but she doesn't really have much to do here. Lee Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio do a perfectly fine job. Griffin Dunn is here, but he really doesn't stand out at all. And Bad Bunny is serviceable, I guess. So the cast is good enough. I do think the real highlight of this movie is the direction, because this movie takes place in 1998, I believe, and that time period is brought to life so perfectly, and I just loved the aesthetic of this movie. It had a 90s feel to it, it had a grungy feel to it, and I loved the soundtrack. It picked some great songs, but it also didn't pick the obvious ones. So there was lots of work put into this movie from a directing point of view. I also do like how mean this movie can be. This movie does certain things, and I like that. It allows a movie like this to stand out more, and it created some more tension in the first act. But this script just did not work for me in any way, shape, or form. It's just a... I watch movies for an experience. So, Manchester by the Sea provides an emotional experience. Dumb and Dumber makes me laugh. The Conjuring scares the shit out of me. This movie just really didn't provide an experience. It's not brutal enough, it's not tense enough, it's not fun, it's not emotional, it's just nothing. I just felt nothing while watching it, and it bums me out. Especially because I'm going to be very careful here. But there are twists and turns in this movie, and I appreciate some of the risks they took. But I found with every new twist, every shocking moment, the movie got less interesting afterwards. And some moments that should have had emotional weight behind it just felt so empty to me. And I didn't really find the Hank character to be all that compelling. Like, they give you a backstory, but this backstory is trash. It feels like a generic, tragic backstory for an attempt at depth. It added nothing to this movie, and as a whole, it felt thematically empty. Like, it's almost about trauma and how to move on, and it's almost about addiction, but all of those ideas get dropped after the first act. And I feel like that's the most frustrating thing about this movie, because it begins and I loved it. Like, the first act, it is mean. Like, the main dude gets beaten up pretty badly early on. There's this cat that gets injured, and I'm like, oh man, they're going for it. And he's not supposed to drink, but he drinks, and things get worse as a result. And I'm like, I find this to be so compelling. Like, what is this movie going to say? How's it going to go? Like, how much meaner is it going to get? And from that point on, it was just a nosedive in quality. And it just frustrates me, because by the end of the movie, I was just ready for it to be over, and it just felt so empty to me. So, it's well acted enough, and it is well directed. Like, it looks great. It really does. And there's potential at the beginning, but it falls off. It didn't know what it wanted to do, what it wanted to be. The trailers make it look like it's going to be a funny movie, and I'm just going to tell you now, that's not this movie at all. It doesn't really know what it wants to be, and it just felt so hollow and empty, and it's not as compelling as it should be, and there's some ballsy decisions on display, but it's not enough to have ballsy decisions. You have to get me to care, and this movie just never did. So it's not a complete disaster. It's definitely better than The Whale, but Darren Aronofsky is so much better than this. But unfortunately, I'm giving Caught Stealing a 4.5 out of 10. Okay, but have you seen Caught Stealing? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.